Good morning. This is a quick video to show you how to format a document for MLA formatting with a Google Doc. So the first thing you need to do is create your document. So go under New, Google Docs. And I'm also going to give you a little bit of advice about how to title your document. Now, if your teacher has told you a specific title to use, always follow your teacher's instructions. But if they haven't, I recommend using your last name and the title of the assignment. It makes it easier for both you and the teacher to find it. And the first thing we want to do is set up our margins. Our margins need to be 1 inch. Luckily, Google actually defaults to the 1 inch margin, but you can also double check up here with your ruler to make sure that you have a 1 and a 7.5 so that you have 1 inch margins on both sides. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we are in double spacing, which is up here. Again, Google should default to double spacing. And then we're going to add our header. Remember, our header is the information that identifies who wrote the paper and for whom. And it's 4 lines: your name, your teacher's name, the class, and the date in formal setting. So your date would have the day, the month, and the year in that order with no abbreviations. In fact, you should have no abbreviations whatsoever in your header. And you'll also notice the only abbreviation really that I used is for Mrs. That's allowed. Then I'm going to hit enter again, go over and center, and I'm going to type my title. And I don't have a title for this, but I'm going to give myself a placeholder. I hit return, enter one more time. I go from centered back to left align. And here's where we're going to add our indentations for our paragraphs. Only the paragraphs of your essay need to have that first line indentation, and it's really easy to do once you get the hang of it. If you notice these blue markings on either side, the triangles mark the left and right indentation for the entire block of text. The bar is your first line indentation. So when you're ready to start typing a paragraph, you click on that bar and you move it over to 1/2 inch. And that's all you need to do. Now, it may take you a few tries to click just the bar. Just keep at it. You'll figure it out. Or hover your cursor until you get that first line indent text. And then you type. And yes, this is a paragraph, and I am writing some nonsense here. You'll notice that my paragraphs are indented. They are double spaced. And as I keep going, I can get onto my second page. You'll also notice there are no blank lines. You should never have any blank lines. Next, I'm going to go ahead and insert my page header. The page header appears on every page. Just in case a staple gets out or pages get lost, they know whose paper it belongs to and what page it is. So you go to Insert, Page Break, excuse me, that comes later. Insert Header right underneath Page Break, and you get this area. Now your page header is simply your last name and a space, then the page number. And you can have Google put the page number in automatically by going back up to Insert, Page Number, and pick the first one. Now it does need to be right aligned, so I'm going to come up here to my alignment bar and right align it. And this is where Google gets weird. Google is set up for electronic documents, so it puts that first line of my header right up there on the edge of my document. The problem with that is if I wanted to print this out, printers are physically incapable of printing on the 1/4 inch margins on your sheet of paper. So my header, my page header would get lost, or at least halfway cut off. So I'm just going to hit return once, because again, I'm on double spacing, so it will move it down too. And now if I go down to my second page, there's my name and the page number too. Now, unless you've already changed your preferences, Google might make this a different font. So you're going to want to make sure that this font is the same as the rest of the fonts that you have used. And remember, you want to pick something that is easy for your instructor to read. They might have a preference. My students can only use Times New Roman, but your instructor may be okay with Arial. They might be okay with Georgia. You never want to use things like Comic Sans. It's too informal, and remember, these are formal writing papers. And you never want to use something that's scriptive, because that's, again, hard to read. And with Google, you do have to make sure that you are changing the font for your main body and your page header separately. They don't do them both at the same time. So I'm going to go back to Times New Roman, change them both back. And we have one more thing to do, and that is to insert page break. Then I'm going to get rid of my indentation, click center, and type in works cited. Hit return and go back to my left alignment. Works cited should always begin on a page of its own. Don't ever have it start right after your text. And there you have a clean, crisp, professional, formal looking writing assignment. And remember, if you have any questions, you can play this video at any time, or you can also go to Al Purdue, which is a great online writing lab resource, and they can walk you through these steps again. Happy writing.